Communication during these types of storms, that's critical for first responders. WSAZ's Caden Bonecutter is catching up with officials that say there's an underutilized tool that's really a game changer for them to relay important information.
To winter weather impacts affecting Meigs County and surrounding areas.
With winter weather slamming much of our region, emergency officials are activating a different kind of backup, one that doesn't rely on cell towers or Wi-Fi. It's called ARES, Amateur Radio Emergency Services. It's full of ham radio operators trained to step in when traditional communication goes out. Joe Barnhart, a volunteer with the Meigs County Auxiliary Communications, says that it takes a team to be prepared.
So we set up a emergency communications network with various services, whether it be amateur radio, which would be ham radio, or GMRS radio, which is the general mobile radio service. Hear and communicate with our network that gives real-world information for weather conditions, snow levels, anything that the Meigs Emergency Management Agency would want us to put out.
A team of operators checked into the network over the weekend. In radio terms, they're acting as a human link, taking calls, confirming locations, and pushing critical information up the chain of command.
So the Meigs Emergency Management Agency asked that we have volunteers ready to be able to deploy to warming stations if they needed to go to those, if the internet, phone service, anything like that was down.
Anyone with amateur radio can call out on the system, and a licensed operator will handle the transmission. It's an underutilized solution, but one that works even in the worst case scenarios.
You know, if all you have for trying to communicate in some way, shape, or form is radio, call out. If anybody hears you, I know all the operators in this area are more than happy to help, and that's one of the biggest parts of this.
Even if you lose power or have no service, there's always help just a radio signal away. Over and out in Meigs County. Caden Bonecutter, WSAZ.
And Barnhart says if you are interested in joining an amateur radio club, that you can check out the Great Bend Radio Group.
Hello and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for February 4th, 2026. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I'm this evening's net control. Tonight we'll be taking your check-ins, comments, questions, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. You can contact us via Elmer at w0tx.org and on most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive some of our nets onto youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to participate and view the net. This net can be broken at any time by using the word break for emergency or priority traffic. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics at least for your call, and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. If you'd like to follow along with the check-ins, you could do so at w0tx.org/check-in. With that, if your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now. All right, this is K1 GBC Net Control. We did have a check-in online. Appreciate that. Dustin, K0BF, good evening to him. Once more, if your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
GPA, Bob in Lakewood. No comment.
All right, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0 GPA. Bob, thank you so much for checking in. Might be a quiet evening for this net. Not a problem, though. We'll go ahead and open up the whole alphabet, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic questions, A through Z, please call now.
WD0CIV, WD0CIV, Charles in Denver, no traffic.
KF0UUC, KF0 Uniform Charlie, Chad, Mobile, and Conifer, no traffic.
Alpha Echo 0 Yankee Romeo, Ed and Nevada, no traffic.
All right, this is Net Control, K1 DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. We had WD0CIV Charles, KF0UUC, Chad, and AE0YR Ed. Thank you all so much for checking in. And then we just had K4EFW checking in online. Really do appreciate that. Got you checked in.
0TX Repeater.
Excellent. That was K4EFW checking in. Dan from Florida. Really do appreciate that. Excellent. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We have plenty of time here this evening. If anybody has further comments or questions or anything at the moment, please let me know. Or if there are any other further check-ins, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I certainly have a couple things I can certainly pass. Some information, either club or non-club business, and some other things I've been getting up to recently, and just some other things in the news. But I didn't see anybody indicate they had any traffic questions as you checked in. If anybody does want to check in still, we'll take check-ins throughout the net. But if anybody out there wants to check in, we're taking all check-ins, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Let's see some recent news, I guess I can pass along. You may have heard me talking about a free product, a geocron alternative called HamClock, developed by Elwood Downey, WB0OEW. Unfortunately, recently, he has become a silent key. And with him also will go his HamClock project, unfortunately, as well. So really bad news all around. So condolences out to his family and loved ones, but HamClock will cease to function as of June 2026. So if anybody has a HamClock set up, just be prepared for that. So yeah, real kicker, unfortunately, of some software having to go away as well. All right, anyone else? It's 7:38. We have plenty of time here still. Still another 50 or so minutes. Maybe a shorter net here this evening. Not a problem, though. Anyone else, though? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now.
GPA.
Yeah, Bob, K0 GPA, the net is yours.
Okay, Jerome. Good evening, everybody on the net. Yeah, that's been on Newsline reports. I listened to it Sunday on the CRA net in the morning on Sunday. It's been on the one on Monday too. And on YouTube, there's a bunch of stuff coming up on YouTube that shows another way of using a different version of HamClock, I guess it is. And I've been looking through it. I don't have the HamClock myself, but pretty neat program, though. It's pretty nice. But if you look on YouTube, I've been on YouTube quite a bit trying to figure out how to use it. Anyway, then I have another comment later. K0 GPA.
All right, thanks there, Bob, for providing some more information there. Yeah, it looks like some other projects are starting to come up online to fill that gap. It looks like so. There should be some fairly good alternatives, hopefully, coming up here soon. So thanks for bringing that up. So yeah, anyone else on HamClock or software development and as software developers, what we should be doing to ensure longevity of projects, things like that. But anyone else on that? Otherwise, we can pass it back over to Bob. All right, this is K1 at DBC Net Control. I guess Open HamClock is one of those. So openhamclock.com for more information on at least one of the upcoming replacement projects. So, Bob, K0 GPA, if you have further traffic, go right ahead, please.
Okay, K0 GPA. Yeah, this is a club I belong to. It's called NA0TC. They're having their monthly meeting Saturday, and it's going to be on SDR radios, and this one guy built an interface for it, and it's located at the Bridge Church here in Lakewood, and I have the address if anybody's interested. It's going to be a pretty nice meeting. It starts at 9:30. 9:30 you get donuts and coffee, and the meeting starts at 10, probably a little after 10, and they show a bunch of stuff. These are mostly all engineers that are in this club, electrical engineers, and they always have a really good meeting. I've belonged to this club for quite a few years, and the Bridge Church is located 3101 South Kipling in Lakewood. It's just off of Kipling. You go north on Kipling, you pass Hamden, you go to the next light and take a right, and then you see the church right on the corner there. And it's a pretty nice meeting. Let's see, what else was there on there? Yes, trying to read through it. Anyway, it's the NA0TC, and like I said, it starts at 9:30 with coffee and donuts, which is the best part, one of the best parts. But the meeting should be very good. It's got a lot of stuff on the SDR that, Flex interfaces with Flex Radio. I forgot to mention that. K0 GPA. See if I'll think of anything else. Reading over.
Excellent, sounds good there, Bob. GPA for the reminder of that group and upcoming meeting, na0tc.org, and right on their front page, as you mentioned. Let's see, they have first Saturday of each month at Bridge Church. It starts at 10 a.m. for the meeting, but 9:30 for coffee, donut, socialization. It's nice to see. And then, this coming one is the 7th. Technical presentation, Flex Radio, TC Maestro by Len Koppel, KD0RC, and Smart SDR for Linux, Simon Ritchie, NV0E. And a Zoom link, so if you want to attend remotely, that is possible to do so if you're not able to make it to the Bridge Church. So excellent, na0tc.org for more information. Thank you so much, K0GPA.
0TX repeater.
Forgot about the Zoom link.
Excellent, sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yep, it's nice that they're able to provide hybrid in-person and remote. So if you're unable to make it, that's still definitely an opportunity, and hopefully they'll record it. And potentially, I think there's a YouTube channel that sometimes records these as well. Excellent. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I have maybe just a couple of other things, really, but it's 7:44 Mountain Time. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now.
One more thing on that. If you look up Len Koppel, KD0RC on QRZ, it shows a picture of some of the stuff he's come up with, and I haven't read it all, but he does some really good-looking stuff on his QRZ page, K0GPA.
Wow, yeah, great resource. KD0RC over on QRZ has quite a lot of up-to-date information on his rigs and setup, and a lot of great documentation and photos. So that's always nice to see a QRZ page being filled out and used for what it should be. So it's this is really nice. He has an amazing setup here. So yeah, really thorough documentation and lots of great photos. So if anybody's interested, qrz.com/db/KD0RC. All right, sounds good. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Go right ahead, please.
KF0UUC with a question.
Yeah, KF0UUC. Chad with a question. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Real basic question about repeaters. So I think I noticed that I'm kind of new to the hobby. Some repeaters announce themselves with tones, and some do not have tones. Is what it seems like. And just curious. I can see there's advantages and disadvantages both ways, but why are some set up announcing themselves with tones and some do not have the tones? Just basic question.
Great question there. I know that identification, very much like our call signs, the repeater must do it every 10 minutes, I believe. So whether it be through CW or voice, I don't know why what one is preferred over the other potentially, and why there's certain tones you might hear. I don't know. I'll throw it out to anybody. Is there anybody know why a repeater owner would use CW rather than voice? Maybe if it's a CW club, they might use that. But if you or anyone else has something on that, go right ahead, please.
No, they've always been using CW as identifier, even police, fire. Matter of fact, I was listening to a fire station last weekend, copied their CW down on it. I didn't look it up, but I know where it's at. It's in Evergreen up there. But yeah, ever since they've been using repeaters, they've been using CW as an identifier because it's easier. Nobody has to be there it's just pre-programmed, so nobody has to be around to identify the repeater, K0 GPA.
All right, thanks there, Bob. K0 GPA. Yeah, I guess it maybe just depends on the capability of the repeater. If the repeater doesn't have voice capability, maybe it only has CW beaconing or identification abilities. So if you have anything else on that, Chad or anyone else, go right ahead.
This is Chad. No, I appreciate that. That makes sense. That's kind of what I was expecting. It seems some of them have really nice setups. They tell you the time of day. They tell you weather alerts, things like that. Other ones are just CW. And I was trying to see if there's any pattern on which ones use tones and which ones don't. Seems like it's, I'm guessing, personal preference, luck of the draw, maybe depending on hardware, things like that. But I appreciate it. KF0 UUC.
All right, sounds good. UUC, Chad. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, no question is too small to ask and answer. Not a problem. So some of these basic things, it's kind of nice to know the rationale behind it as well. So yeah, it's nice when a repeater can announce times and different information. So that's always glad to have those abilities when we do. So yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We have 7 check-ins here so far. 7:50 p.m. Mountain Time. Plenty of time here still, 30 or 40 minutes. Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Over the weekend, there was a power outage covering a lot of Aurora and parts of Denver, and it turns out, I guess, there was a substation arcing and having an issue in the Aurora area. Thankfully, hopefully, Excel has fixed it for all customers, but you may have been out of power. There was a question on Reddit of power outage, no radio coverage. During yesterday's power outage, they got their battery radio and scrolled through all stations. Not a single station is local enough to have provided a news update, information, or acknowledged the station. It's all national talk, sports, etc. They'd be nice to have one AM and one for radios each station that could be dedicated to interrupting national broadcasts to provide local information. So yes, cell phone towers did go down for some people, and one of the suggestions in here was Meshtastic and DenverMesh.org. I don't know if anybody had any issues with that, but you can always carry a NOAA weather radio, and a lot of our HTs will be able to tune in to NOAA stations, and maybe you can provide some information from there. But if anybody has comments or questions on that or anything else, go right ahead. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yep, and as it's winter time as well, just always make sure emergency preparedness is you can't put too much, never put too much thought into it. So there's always something to help and prepare for. So whether it be emergency rations, emergency blankets, food, water, radio, battery charges, everything. So just make sure that you are prepared when and if the time comes, something does happen, you are prepared. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
KF0 UUC.
Yeah, Chad, KF0 UUC. Go right ahead.
Thanks again. I had this question. I can't believe I almost forgot this. But I noticed the Denver Radio Club's repeaters, they list one tone, the tone to access the repeater and open it. No tone is listed on a transmit. I'm wondering if it's the same. Is it the same same tone for both in and out? Because on repeater book, I looked up one of them, and I did find the tone that goes out of the repeater. I'm wondering if it's the same for all of the repeaters on Denver Radio Club, or if there's a way to look it up.
Yeah, great question there. The transmit tone at 100 hertz for most of them, and one of them has 107.2 hertz. W0tx.org/repeaters. Hopefully, repeater book is up to date. I guess we'll need to check that. No tone is required for receive. I think you can set one. I don't think it harms anything. But yeah, unless our site or other sites show a specific one for receive, you can make a pretty good assumption that the transmit and receive tone will be the same. But for ours, w0tx.org/repeaters for the receive, transmit frequencies, offsets, and tones.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I did look on the website. I didn't see it there, and I looked it up on Repeater Book, and I found one of them, but not the others. But I think I know what it is now based on that information. So I appreciate it. KF0 UUC.
Of course, not a problem. This is K1DBC Net Control. Excellent. Yeah, if anybody ever has comments or questions about our repeaters, don't hesitate to let us know. If you're ever wondering if something isn't working or is having issues, don't hesitate to let us know. This is K1DBC Net Control, 7:56 Mountain Time. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far? Please call now. Let's see about our website, w0tx.org. Our upcoming roundtable newsletter should be coming up in the next day. Hopefully it should be posted by noontime tomorrow, and it will be emailed out. If you were having issues accessing our website over the last month and a half, there's an article in there about the issues we were seeing and the problems that we were seeing and what it took to get it fixed. So essentially, our website was broadcasting out 2 different public IP addresses, and it shouldn't have been doing that. It took a lot longer than it should have to get it fixed, but it finally did a couple of weekends ago. So upcoming roundtable will have some more technical info on that. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. Let's see what else here. Net control operators. Jim Blanchard, N0TRP, messaged me earlier this evening. He usually takes the net for the 4th Wednesday of the month, so that's going to be the 25th this month. He's not able to take it this month, so if anybody's able to or wants to step in as net control. Pardon me. That is the 4th Wednesday. We have our board meeting, so I'm unable to take the net that evening. So if anybody's interested, we have a net script you read from and a net check-in process. You type in a call sign and it populates the rest of the information for you. So if anybody's interested and is curious about doing so, let us know. We still have plenty of time, so no decisions required right now, but do bear that in mind. The 25th of this month for the Wednesday night learning net is open for net control operator. So send me an email if you like, k1dbc@w0tx.org. Or there's plenty of other contact information via our website. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Just about to tick over to 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Anyone else? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I guess I'll take this opportunity to take official check-ins if you are just tuning in. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. So if you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Again, once more, if you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right. Let's see. I guess a project I've been working on just for the heck of it. Another project, another alternative to HamClock. It's been around for a bit of time now by call sign VA3HDL called Ham Dashboard. Just a pretty nice, simple interface where you can just get a bunch of tiles with maps that you can post just references for websites, and then you can just see all the information. Anyway, if anybody's interested, there's a pretty neat way to host this for free, essentially, in the cloud. If you have your own domain and or understand how DNS settings work, you can basically use Cloudflare to host this in the cloud, as it were, for free. So no hardware required from your end. So it took a little bit of time from my end to get it set up, but if you go to my site, k1dbc.com, you can see what that looks like. So if anybody's interested, k1dbc.com. The Ham dashboard, and just a lot of fun with getting it set up through GitHub and tying it into Cloudflare. So if you have any inclination to do so, that's an opportunity there. That's about all that I have at the moment. I maybe can grab a couple of other things, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
0TX repeater.
Let's see, again, upcoming meeting, the 18th, still to be announced if anybody has a presentation. 30 to 45 minutes, hour or so. Either pre-recorded if you have a video that's come up in your feed, or if you have a formal or informal presentation, we'd love to hear it. So again, w0tx.org for more information when that is announced, and we'll be sending out an email this month as well to hopefully gain some more people onto our nets. So, the meeting. Anyone else though? Comments, questions, check-ins? Go right ahead. Let's see, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Great resource. As always, reddit.com/r/amateur radio. From 26 days ago, someone said metric or imperial. With all the bands in meters, not feet or inches, when amateurs from countries that use imperial measurements in everyday life, do you convert your antenna measurements to imperial or just use metric measurements straight from calculators? He's curious because they have a friend here in Colorado and converts imperial to metric for them, and converts metric and imperial for each other when they swap DIY speaker measurements. An odd thing, how long is your dipole for 10 meters? 101 inches. What band are you on? 33 feet. He went and bought a metric tape measure and now says metric distance measurements are so much easier. And they think they converted him. So anyone on that? Some of the comments in here is everything is done in metric. One person says they buy a metric only tape measure specifically for antenna building. Let's see, metric is the standard used by all but 3 countries. Amateur radio is an international hobby, so metric makes QSOs easier. Anybody on that though? Go right ahead.
GPA.
Yeah, Bob, KZ or GPA, go right ahead.
Okay, K0 GPA. Yeah, what I like to do is convert them. Is I just use my cell phone. I just go on and just tap the microphone and say millimeters to inches, and it brings up a millimeters to inches chart. And on that chart, you can change it from millimeters to meters, and then put feet for the English version, and punch in whatever you want. And I do that with measurements for cups and liquid quartz and stuff like that. But it works good for millimeters and meters. I just use my cell phone. It has a pretty neat little calculator in there. K0 GPA.
Excellent, sounds good. Yeah, no shortage of tools to be able to convert between the two. So luckily, it's not something we have to do in our head at the moment. So looks like it was just an interesting conversation because it's I think one of the Someone says this is how NIST works as well. All the standards for units are in metric, and then the final answer is converted back. The official inch is defined as 24.4 millimeters and has been for quite some time, or 25.4. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see. So, anyone else on that imperial or metric measurements? And it sounds like probably metric is certainly definitely what we use more or less. Most of the hobby as well. So anyone else on that, go right ahead, please. All right, it's 8:08 Mountain Time. Pretty quiet evening, but I really do appreciate everyone's participation so far. We have another 20 minutes. It's not certainly don't need to go for the entire length of the hour, but anybody else, though, comments, questions, check-ins, go right ahead. Let's see. If you did miss our last meeting, it was pre-recorded, but really amazing, pretty interesting presentation. It's the origin of the National Interoperability Field Operations Guide by Ross Merlin, WA2WDT. So he does a pretty good job of presenting what is this product, and it's essentially the de facto standardization of how the FCC and other governmental agencies see. It's a pocket-sized waterproof guide that contains communication references and information used by public safety practitioners across the country. So he goes into his deployments with Hurricane Andrew, I believe, and Hurricane Katrina, and tried to give some good information about interoperability, mutual aid, how can people talk with one another, because when you're deployed somewhere, you may not have anything unless you bring it with you. So if you did miss that, check that out. It was a really great presentation. It was originally from the Radio Club of America. So if anybody's interested in that, check that out. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Might start to wrap the net up here just a little bit, but anyone else? Please call now. All right, let's see if I can bring up any last-minute information here, but let's see. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. All right, again, the fourth Wednesday of this month, we are looking for a net control operator. As we're really looking for net control operators for all of our nets. So if anybody's interested, not just this month, but whether it be our Wednesday night learning net or our Sunday night net, we'd love to have more net control operators help cover the schedule. So if anybody is interested, we have a lot of great resources to help with that process. Just get a hold of us, and we'll get you squared away. Anyone else? Go right ahead.
0TX repeater.
All right, another interesting looking project here. Stixs S radio, Stixs. Still hasn't been released yet, but it's a really promising looking project. It's a radio project that combines a fairly traditional amateur VHF UHF radio with a touchscreen Linux-based platform. The goal is to keep the RF side proper radio while leaving plenty of room for experimentation and hacking above that layer. Platform also includes LoRa, also known as Meshtastic, GPS, and Wi-Fi. LoRa intended for things like Meshtastic, GPS there for time, position, and things like APRS, mesh routing. So next up for the project is bring up an RF testing, starting at low power, then PA and filter tuning, and seeing how it behaves. So if you're interested, patreon.com/CW/STIXS radio. Not sure on the price point, but hopefully they'll be able to get it down to a reasonable price. Yeah, it'll be a pretty interesting looking project. So it's always nice to see newer looking radios, not just your traditional HT radios. Just a nice new interface, clean interface. So yeah, comments, questions, check-ins. We have another 15 or so minutes. I'll see if I have anything else, but anyone else, please call now. Another project around similar lines we've brought up before, but I think they have a new version. The DigiPi hat, ham radio, digital modes, APRS, FT8, FT4. Basically, you connect a Raspberry Pi into this hat and then plug it into your HT radio. And you're kind of off and running there with some of those modes. So this one is available for purchase, anywhere between $40 and $60. DigiPi hat, at least it's on Elekits or parts.com, put out by KM6LYW, I believe. Or no, it's compatible with that. So I'll have to see if I can find the call sign of who put this out, but pretty interesting looking project as well. So if you're ever interested in getting into APRS, FT8, digital modes, and you just have a handheld, this is a great opportunity to do so. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, I believe that was from KM6LYW. And if I do need to correct that, I will do so. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, go right ahead. Okay, that's about all that I had for this evening. I'll throw it out to the group. We still have another 15 or so minutes, but if it's coming to a natural point for ending, we can certainly do that. But comments, questions, check-ins, anything else for this evening's Learning Net, please call now. All right. Let's see if I have anything further. Again, w0tx.org for more information on our club. Upcoming information as well. The third Wednesday of the month, we do have an informal luncheon hosted by N0TRP, Jim. So it's awesome to see. So informal face-to-face meeting, DRC members and others. Wednesday each month, 11:30 a.m. Sunrise Sunset Restaurant on Wadsworth Boulevard. So more information on our website as well if you're interested in that. And groups.io, a lot of attention, or a lot of people hanging out there. We have 100 members. We do have a paid version, so we can have more than 100 members, which is awesome to see. Groups.io/G/W0TX. If you're ever interested or have comments or questions about our club or nets, or have anything, comments or questions on there, that go right ahead. That's an awesome place to post some information. Let's see. Anything else? Last minute comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. All right. Well, nothing heard. I guess I'll put it out for the last opportunity for check-ins, comments, or questions. We still have 10 or so minutes here, but we might start to wrap the net up here a little bit early. Last minute comments, questions, check-ins. Please call now. Okay, well, nothing heard then. We will wrap things up then. We had a total of 7 check-ins. We do appreciate everyone who checked in. Appreciate everyone who checked in online. And everybody who can watch our YouTube videos, really do appreciate that. Again, this third Wednesday of the month, the 18th, is our upcoming meeting, still to be announced. So if anybody does have something, please let us know, and we'll put it into the ring there. We can't thank enough our club for allowing us to use their repeaters. And again, everyone who participated. You can view past nets if you'd like, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. And again, a lot of social media at Denver Radio Club and W0TX. So with that, join us again third Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. for an Elmers session, which is very similar to this Learning Net, but just takes place online. And then 7 p.m. for our meeting. With that, join us next week, 7:30 p.m., 1930 hours Mountain Time, for our next Learning Net. This is K1DBC, Net Control, 7.3, and I will be clear. Everyone have a good week.